Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Bethesda E3 Snarkathon pre-show right here on twitch.tv/Totalbiscuit. My name is, of course, Totalbiscuit, joined once again by the sensible one of the duo, Jenna. Hi.
I don't know about sensible. I mean, it is midnight, and we are preparing to watch, what is this, our third conference?
This would be our third, yes,
of E3. So I don't know how sensible you would find that on
Sleepy, maybe.
On a Sunday/Monday.
Yes. Running a little bit late on this one. Not as bad as Devolver's, which I believe is like 1 a.m. Eastern on a Tuesday, which would be the exact reason we are not covering it. That is their fault. That's got nothing to do with us. And of course, those of you who are still awake in Europe, what the hell are you doing? Crazy people.
Getting up, probably having breakfast.
Yeah, here you go.
Possibly, depending upon where you are in Europe.
Indeed, it's your breakfast entertainment right here. So, Bethesda will be starting in about 10 minutes. We don't have any numbers as to how long the conference is expected to run, but if we look at last year's, an hour just over, probably quite likely. The setup this year is quite elaborate. I saw a picture, Jesse.
Bethesda land.
Indeed, but Jesse is in Bethesda land right now. Lord knows what he's doing.
Getting free swag, most likely, knowing Jesse.
Generally what he does, certainly, no doubt about that. But we have a few expectations, a few predictions, and of course a few hopes for the forthcoming Bethesda showcase, as they're calling it this time around. Certainly some things that are quite likely to occur, some things we're pretty much convinced certain have been leaked prior, which of course includes Wolfenstein II New Colossus. That was teased last year in a quick opening teaser, I think, for Quake Champions or something along those lines.
Yeah, it was in the little
file
PC,
system thing, the little DOS prompts. Yeah, it was there. We expected maybe an expansion, although considering that game is several years old, an expansion would be a bit weird. So it looks like full-blown sequel. Machine Games Twitter, I believe, confirmed sometime today that they'd have something coming. So that we're pretty much convinced that's going to be it. That may very well be the major announcement of the conference.
I imagine we'll probably, well, it depends on how big you feel Starfield, Elder Scrolls in Space might...
Where did that rumor come from?
It's been a rumor for a while. I mean, like, back in 2010, Todd Howard he really wanted a huge licensed Star Trek RPG where you could, like, go and explore the universe.
Oh, I would kill for that.
He really wanted that, and so this is now rumored to be, like, a mix of, like, ID Tech rendering, Bethesda's creation engine, NPC, and quest tools all together in sort of like a Dragon Scrolls 2. You remember how, like, in Daggerfall, they use that same kind of, like, technology? So you have some things that are randomly generated, and then you have stuff that's created by the game.
This wasn't all, like, because the people in chat are saying that room was started by 4chan,
and there have been, then there are some people who say and then some people no, but it just seems that some of these things align a little bit, so I'm not sure how accurate any of it will be. It's complete rumor, but it's just like, what do you want to expect? But I think we basically know that Starfield is going to be something.
I mean, it's worth noting that 3 years ago, Starfield was renewed as a trademark by Bethesda,
yes.
So it does exist. What exactly it will be, no one was 100% sure at this point. So
there have been, like, hiring positions that have been open. Just again, that's just part of the rumor mill. As far as what developers have come on since, and so if we're led to believe that these rumors are true, then basically this has been in development since Fallout 3's release. Yeah,
there is also, on the hiring front, about a week or so ago, there was a confirmation that they were hiring for a position on what they called a AAA freemium experience. We don't know exactly what that is, as to whether or not that's going to kick in anywhere here. It may be part of this, it may not. There was another rumor flying around that there may be some kind of collaboration with HBO regarding Game of Thrones, which would be absolutely massive if true, as to whether or not we will see an appearance of that. Maybe that's just a little bit too far out, hard to say. Battlecry is done, by the way. Those who ask, well, what about Battlecry? That was cancelled at least a year ago.
Yeah.
I don't think they were really going anywhere there, and they really didn't know what they were doing, so...
We should be seeing the Evil Within sequel.
Really? Yeah, I heard about that as well. That's one of the ones where, like, does that really warrant a sequel, but considering the current state of horror and the success of Resident Evil 7, giving it another shot.
Yeah.
Because, let's be honest, Evil Within got a lot of people's hopes up, and it fell flat on its face in many ways.
Well, I mean, it was very Resident Evil-esque. Of course, what do you expect when you have Shinji Mikami, you know, the director of the first Resident Evil? It's like, what did you really expect? Mm-hmm. So you had high hopes, but it had, like, that classic horror game feel. And then your modern mechanics, I guess, are, you know, your more modern, you know, game utilities. And I don't know, a lot of people really enjoy the old school horror game kind of feel. I mean, I personally did not enjoy any of the more recent Resident Evils. Have
you tried 7?
I have not tried 7, so I'm going to disclose that I have not tried 7. But the prior to that, I was just kind of like,
wow, 6 was terrible. That was pretty much universally panned. 7 is interesting because I wonder if that will shift the trend. We're getting away from the defenseless runaway style of horror games to the point where, of course, Outlast 2 was very divisive this year in terms of its reception. Resident Evil 7 universal acclaim sold very well. We may see more action-oriented horror come back for a little while. That may influence future horror game development, possibly even within 2, as you mentioned. I would expect we will hear something a little bit more on Fallout and possibly Doom VR. That was mentioned relatively briefly.
Last year.
It has been confirmed that they are still working on it as to whether or not they've managed to wrestle with the teething problems of the VR motion sickness and movement style remains to be seen. Wouldn't surprise me if we saw a little dab of Elder Scrolls Legends, maybe card expansion or some sort of adventure there. And most people won't care about that, of course, but
probably something like Skyrim for Switch as well.
Skyrim for Switch, I would almost certainly expect.
I mean, it's already coming out.
Yeah, we know it's
fall.
coming.
I mean, it's already got a release date, but
if we don't see it tonight, it's almost certainly going to be part of the Nintendo showcase.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Is I think they might actually say that for the Nintendo conference.
I don't think so. I think like Bethesda's because of the amount of time Bethesda's got.
Right.
I think they should show it. I think that would be sensible.
Well, it depends. I mean, if they do have something that's like a new IP, if it's going to be huge for them or something, then I mean, Bethesda's always had a tendency to be they try to be sneaky, secretive. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, they get leaks, and that sort of ruins some things. But you never know. You never know what could happen. I imagine we'll probably also see more of Quake Champions.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've had several closed betas for that. I don't know what, and there's another closed beta scheduled very soon, if not right now. So I don't know what they can show of that. They haven't already shown. Maybe do a quick show match of Quake Champions on stage would be cool. I'd like to see that because there's still a lot of skepticism regarding its viability as a competitive game, even though that really should have all been dispelled by now. But it's a lingering idea. It's like, it's copying Overwatch. Oh, it's all casual now. It's not really an arena shooter, you know? I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, shut up. It would be interesting as well, maybe back on the topic of the Switch, that maybe Fallout 4 makes it there. You know, making a port. I mean, hell, even just making Fallout 3 portable would be that cool. Would sell a bunch. So I wish Obsidian would just drop everything and make another Fallout. Make another New Vegas, yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's like I tried so hard with 4, and I could not get into it. I was just like, I need my dialogue. I need my dialogue options.
They gutted that aspect of it, you know, in favor of what was basically just a glorified nonsense.
We could do an entire video on that. In fact, I'm pretty sure we have.
How the game was more like Far Cry at that point than anything else. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a fan of that either. I don't expect a new Fallout game. I don't expect any Fallout DLC. I
just expect them to port it. That's basically
Dishonored 2 DLC as a possibility. I'm actually kind of surprised. Bear in mind, you know, came out in November. It's now June. There's been nothing on that front, as opposed to the original Dishonored received 3 DLC, 2 of which were exceptionally good. It does surprise me. I mean, they have been spending a lot of time fixing shit. Plus, of course, they've had Prey on their plate as well. And that's out of the door now as well. So, what do you think? You know, as someone that's beaten Prey, is Prey the kind of game that could very easily have DLC for it? Would it fit?
Sure, because you can play it through again. You know, that's part of the fun, really, of that game, is that you don't actually learn about the fun until you're about 7 hours in, and then you're like, oh, I can actually play this a completely different way, and I can be all corrupt and, and junk, and that's great. So yeah, the game definitely has replayability.
Yeah.
I can talk. It has words.
Replayability.
It's like, past. Well, it is midnight now.
It's getting there. Yeah, they should be going in about 1 minute.
Yeah.
This is what the Bethesda stream is currently showing. So as soon as we see something, we'll get audio going live and everything. But
it's like, I swear, I'm not drunk, you guys. It's just I usually wake up at 5 a.m. and this is a little past my bedtime.
Indeed, yeah. This shouldn't be too long a conference at any rate. But outside of that, possibility of seeing something remastered of some sort. But the question is of what? For me... all right, we're going to countdown rolling right here. We're going to get audio rolling on this one, and ducking is active. Audio should be starting shortly. There we go. Let's get this up to full. If we need any sound adjustments, do let us know in the chat. We play all this by ear. We have no idea how loud each conference is going to be, so hopefully it'll work fine.
9, 8, 7.
Ooh, fancy.
Oh my, they tried this one out. Yeah, that's going to have a cool intro.
2, 1.
Great.
What does your daddy do? What does he do for a job?
Plays on his computer.
Aw, we're relatable.
Actually. He does effects like sparkles, cutscenes. Sits at a computer and does stuff.
All right.
I'm a senior programmer.
I'm a UI programmer.
I'm a senior designer.
My mom's an artist. She works pretty hard.
I am a quest designer.
I'm a senior character artist. Yeah, it definitely is a very familial environment.
It requires a little bit of cold-heartedness to mock kids on stream, so don't expect that to happen. I'm sorry.
I grew up loving games.
When he was little, this was actually his dream job.
It never occurred to me that it could be a job.
Sometimes I still feel like that kid.
Wait, I'm an adult?
Sometimes I have to pinch myself that it's real.
I love what I do.
I mean, it's video games for a living. That's gotta be really cool.
I can't imagine what that feels like.
My dad.
It felt like that.
Some days, yes it does.
Badass. All kinds of feelings.
I'm actually working on an RPG.
I'm working on a shooter. It's a really cool mobile game.
Esports.
First person, third person, fantasy, dystopian.
A horror game.
Wait, third person? Where? What? Don't tell me, you can take the camera out. We've seen your third person animations. They are not good.
Overwhelming.
Mind-blowing.
I'm really proud of my dad.
My mom works hard.
And now they're ready.
They made their game, and this is it. It's go time.
Time to show everyone what we've been working on.
Except me. I can't play till I'm older.
Awesome. Let's get it started.
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
So, let's just say it.
Start the show. Start the show!
Showtime!
Showtime. I don't know what showtime is.
What should we do for E3 this year, guys? I know. Let's exploit our children.
Expose all of our children to the rigors of Twitch chat. That should be a war crime. Welcome to the Bethesda conference. Unfortunately, due to our new embargo agreements, none of you will be allowed to talk about it until a week after this is finished, to ensure that everybody experiences it together. Here's a bunch of games that are out already. This bear is our new protagonist for Fallout 5. I'd be actually entirely okay with that.
Yeah, you would.
I mean, they've pretty much given up on the dialogue options anyway, so why not have a bear that can't speak at all? Prepare for indoctrination here in Bethesda land.
Yes, Bethesda land. A place of adventure, innovation, wonderment.
There's that word again.
All else,
I would buy that cacodemon. Look at that cacodemon.
To get things started, please welcome Bethesda's Global Vice President of PR and Marketing, Pete Hine.
Well, Bethesda has somebody working in PR.
No.
What does he do exactly?
Claps for himself on the way out, apparently.
Brings in his minions. I told you, it's the Bethesda land indoctrination ceremony.
The bar tab that I paid for that applause, but I thank you for that.
Even he owns up to it.
It's fair.
Good evening and welcome to the 2017 Bethesda E3 Showcase. And welcome to Bethesda Land. We will offer you an experience at E3 unlike anything else, and a chance to celebrate some of the world's best video games. Tonight,
that you can't play.
On a virtual tour
that we didn't make.
To our playground where there's something for everyone, whether it's phone or tablet, PC, or your favorite Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo console, or like many of us, all of the above. But before we turn to the latest from Bethesda, let's take a minute to look at some of the most recent games that you've been playing, and many of you are still enjoying.
You just did that. You pretty much showed all of your games.
Playing Doom. Ripping, tearing, and otherwise eviscerating demons from hell. Did you play a badass supernatural assassin in Dishonored 2? Or
no, because it didn't run properly.
Fight to survive aboard an alien-infested space station in Prey? Maybe you're one of the 100
you liked it.
Did you use your Prey toilet paper that they sent us?
I threw it away.
In Fallout Shelter. And I know that many of you are still playing Fallout 4 and Skyrim Special Edition.
No one is still playing Fallout 4. They are, I know they are, but
for the first time in our industry,
man,
both games offer user
I have
mods
wounds.
for console players, with more than 300 million mod downloads since we launched them last year. As each
because it's the only way to make the game bearable.
I mean, that's been true of Bethesda games maybe for the last 10 years at least.
Regardless of your taste, platform, or playstyle. So, what's next? Let's start by talking about virtual reality, something that we've been at the forefront of.
All right, there we go. That was expected.
We've had teams hard at work on VR titles to provide the kind of experiences you've been asking for. And the kind of
we've been asking for experiences. They're called Obsidian and Fallout. Make it happen.
This is, you're not going to let this go.
No, I waited how many years, and what happened?
Let's take
they
a look.
had one job.
So this was announced a couple of years ago. Let's see if they can get over the whole giant motion sickness thing.
Welcome to the UAC.
Nope. Absolutely not. Not gonna happen. This looks entirely new. This is not just Doom 4. Flies? What was that? Looks like they may have, like... Oh, yes, so that's the teleport thing. So that's how they're doing the movement. Teleportation's been done a lot in VR. It looks like they've actually integrated that into the story, though, with an item. Which is a kind of cool way of doing it. VFR. What's the F for? I think we know what that is. That's neat, though. I love the fact that they have integrated that very janky method into the actual story itself. I'd play the hell out of that.
I'm sorry, you didn't expect Bethesda to try and sell you the VR treadmill where you continuously walk for $1 billion.
You could certainly get lost in it, no doubt. Question is, can they make inventory management even worse in the VR version? Virtual reality dog! What else could we need? I'm never leaving.
You have dogs in real life.
Yeah, but it's a virtual dog.
Do I have to buy you a special edition of the Nintendo Pet thing that came out on a disc? Yeah, where you could only choose one of 3 dogs.
This one follows my every command. My current dogs do not. we didn't see anything about the movement method in that. I like that the Doom trailer. I thought was a lot more impressive.
Finally, a full-length open-world game with near-limitless content playable entirely in VR. Sure will be exciting to play Fallout 4 in VR.
I wasn't excited to play Fallout 4 when it was in
on a regular screen.
Yeah. And now it can suck in VR as well.
Yeah, we didn't see any teleportation. They may have just gone for straight regular movement.
Expansive open worlds and endless player choice are two of the cornerstones on which Bethesda was built.
I told you, the bear protagonist.
First released in 2014 and has built a massive community. Since launch, more than 10 million players have had countless adventures in Tamriel.
Here's a question. Is Bethesda Land actually just another vault? Will they be able to leave now that they're inside?
Who can say? We can ask Jesse Cox later.
We'll never see him again.
What's up, guys?
It's James.
And it's JV.
Oh.
Here we go again.
Oh no, it's the YouTuber thing again. Oh, you bloody ruined it. You were doing so well.
My heart's racing right now.
Is it? I can tell.
Better not have killed the bear.
To be fair, that's what you would have said too.
Told you, Bear's the protagonist.
An ice shield? Are you kidding me?
That was amazing. I can't wait.
Ice. What's unusual about that exactly? Magic in my Elder Scrolls game?
Never.
It's more likely than you think. It's the obligatory Elder Scrolls Online Circle Jerk trailer.
I gotta watch the bear again real quick.
Bear
This
is
all
protagonist
about the bear.
in every new Bethesda game. You can't prove it's not true. Well, so far, our conference has been a giant ad for things that are already out. This is a thing you can already do.
I'm sorry, it's been like almost 30 seconds since we've seen Bear, so I'm concerned.
This is the reason I don't subscribe to Elder Scrolls Online.
They may have actually killed the bear.
Near limitless bear fantasies, it just didn't happen. No.
Oh, there, he was back there. Did you see him?
All right, okay. He was there,
Yeah. You actually have to pay additional to get the bear.
Probably.
Same day bear DLC.
Speaking of Morrowind, did you know that Bethesda's first PC user mods in 2002 were for the Elder Scrolls III Morrowind?
That is one happy windmill.
Continues to support the mod community.
Oh, Thomas! Oh.
Mods were made available to
I don't
Xbox
trust
One
that, Thomas.
and
Not one
PlayStation
little
4
bit.
players.
Look at its
And
face.
since then,
It's got a
there have been
secret.
more than 300 million mod downloads for
Percy.
Fallout 4 and Skyrim Special Edition.
We already talked about this.
And we're just getting
Be
started.
quiet. Not everyone has taken the joyride that is the trip to Bethesda
Bow
Land.
down and worship at the altar of Bethesda
Drink your
Land.
Nuka-Cola. You will enjoy it.
Bethesda Game Studios is known for creating open living worlds with seemingly limitless gameplay content. But what if there was another way to experience even more, something all new? Introducing Creation Club, a collection of new game content for Skyrim and Fallout 4, including new weapons, new armor.
So it's, what, curated mods?
New crafting and
Looks
housing
that way.
features.
So they're just picking the good ones and...
Using Creation Club is easy. Browse the selection in-game by category and use credits to download right there.
Wait.
Your new content
Wait,
will
you have to
appear
pay for it?
automatically.
Of course you
Creation
do.
Club content is made by Bethesda Game Studios and outside developers, including the very best.
Someone got to get paid.
These outside creators work hand in hand with
There it
Bethesda
is.
Game Studios,
Paid mods.
which
That's
means
how
all
they're doing
content
it.
will be
They're
fully
trying it
compatible with
again.
Save games, achievements, and official add-ons.
here we are. I don't know why I'm surprised. To be fair, if most of it's internal and like licensed third-party outside studios, then this is a far better way of doing it than what they tried to do before, which was just literally to sell random shit people made. So that's not too terrible, I guess.
The Elder Scrolls Legends is another way to explore this amazing universe, taking you beyond the role-playing experience and offering a unique strategy card game. But we haven't shown all our cards yet. Let's see what's next for Legends.
Yeah, when I go to a theme park, I want to play card games. How about you?
That's mostly what I do. I'll sit on a bench and play a bit of Plants vs. Zombies.
They are true or not. And this is one you should hear. Bring me a warrior with strength and courage.
You better not quote me in this bloody thing. To be fair, they quoted Guy earlier, so who knows? Not that I hate it, I like this game quite a bit. It's just like, it's another card game, and you can only have so many of those going on at any given time.
I have you now.
Dramatic card gaming music! Yes, it is! Look at our static images! It's no Yu-Gi-Oh!, I'll tell you that. And that's a Skyrim expansion for it, by the looks of it.
Even those lost amongst the mountains can find their way within the stars. The path is written for you to find.
I don't think you can ever make a card game expansion video exciting no matter what you do with it.
No, because it's like, well, what are you going to do? Show me amazing gameplay of your turn?
Well, it's more a case of we knew as a CCG you would be bringing out new cards, so it's not exactly unexpected.
They all await in.
Well, we just want to show you more dragons, because Skyrim.
I remember you in the mountains. Heroes of Skyrim. Wow, they're getting awfully close to Heroes of Warcraft there. So, yeah.
Has given tens of millions of fans, just like you, the chance to live another life in another world. Now, for the first time, Skyrim, one of our most beloved games, is coming to a Nintendo.
Would you call Skyrim beloved?
Considering how many it's sold and how many are still playing it,
beloved? Like it's...
I don't think that's an unreasonable way to describe it. I'm glad we talked over that clicking noise, by the way, because you can quite literally get a copyright strike for including that in your video. I shit you not.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, like when I think beloved, maybe I think of something more slightly cutesy, but this whole like, oh yes, Skyrim, so beloved.
So you can use a bloody Zelda amiibo with Skyrim. Oh, you get Master Sword, alright, that's cute, I suppose. Can't imagine how slowly this runs on a Switch.
Like, is it just a straight up port, or did we decide that we were gonna, like, you know...
They put a Master Sword in it. That's worth $60, right? Yeah, you got some motion control. If you can even
get the console to begin with.
Oh god, that motion control is like, whee! You're gonna throw one of those things across the room.
Yeah, you
or
are.
you're gonna end up hitting it. I do not want to play Skyrim with motion controls.
No.
Not at all.
It's like, let's take an amazing open world type game where the scenery is just like gorge and everything, and we're going to put it on the smallest screen possible to make it portable. I'm all for making it portable, but it's just like, I would not choose to play that game on something, on a screen that small.
Maybe not.
Maybe I'm just a size queen.
You've been known.
Oh, have I?
Indeed. Bit of Dishonored, what we got? We're gonna get any DLC for this bloody thing?
The Dishonored universe. A story of revenge and the ultimate assassination.
Yeah, that sounds like just Dishonored 2. It's already out. We're getting a DLC, maybe? Please tell me you are not just playing the trailer from a year ago. Wait, is that Dowd? That looks a bit like Dowd. No, maybe
Difficult to tell with all the blood.
I mean, you can never really tell with Dishonored because everyone's like lumpy face all looks the same, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Like until you hear them actually speak.
That's not... Yep, it is down. Called it.
You up for one last job, Billy?
Who's the mark?
The black-eyed bastard responsible for all the chaos.
We're gonna kill the outsider.
She never asked for this.
That's cool.
Man, the fact that it's taken almost a year. To be fair, if
I
it's
waited at least like 3 or 4 months.
If it's of the full size of the others, then it does make sense.
I waited like 4 months before even starting to play Dishonored 2 because of all the bugs. I wanted to wait until everything was
I might just wait
fixed.
till that comes out. Here's our Quake, by the looks of it.
Fans came together to play a fast-paced, revolutionary new shooter called Quake. It offered them a new way to compete, and the best of the best were finally recognized as professional gamers. This year...
I don't know. I heard in order to be a professional gamer, all you need is to be able to get paid. Would you consider yourself a professional gamer, Totalbiscuit?
Professionally amateur. Amateurly professional.
We weren't born champions.
Oh, bloody hell.
Made better. Made faster. Made deadlier.
What was the name of the Overwatch character? Or Crusher 77 or whatever?
We don't just
It's this again.
We compete. We achieve. We rise.
And we do it all in black and white, just so that way it looks stylish.
Well, of course. Can't take it seriously otherwise.
Oh, and now we show you the color. It's so Wizard of Oz. You weren't expecting it.
Didn't see it coming.
I am unstoppable.
You just got stopped.
It looks very similar to my stream gameplay.
Did you see that?
What's the matter? Lose something? You'll regret that.
Your hit rate's about 10%. If you're an esports person, you need to get your shit together.
All I know is so far in this entire conference, not just Bethesda's, but it just seems like anytime
BJ Blazkowicz in Quake Champions.
Anytime a company
Joe
decides that they're going to show
Joe Wield
esports, it is cringy as
Joe
fuck.
Wield.
It's like, who actually wants to look at or invest in esports when you make it look fucking cringy?
Every frag. Every victory.
But Joe Wield!
Shut up.
Years in the making. The original esport returns. Announcing the Quake World Championships, August 26th at QuakeCon in Dallas, Texas. Competitors will face off in the ultimate esports arena.
Ooh, this is interesting. They're showing 4 of them. There was a speculation that the 4 versus 4 sacrifice mode would be the esports mode as opposed to duel, which would be a very big change from what we're used to with Quake esports. I wonder if that's indicative of that.
Get ready for the Quake World Championships. Visit Quake.com to learn more.
You could go to QuakeCon and find out.
You might notice some parts of Bethesda Land have been under construction.
Here we go.
But now the work is nearly finished.
Well, when it comes to your games, I almost always assume they're permanently under construction based on how they launch.
Hopefully this will be our thing. Our Starfield.
No chance.
Nope.
Evil Within?
Yeah, it should be the sequel.
For 3 years since Beacon happened, you've been searching for answers. You didn't find what you were looking for because they didn't want you to.
Yep.
Mobius knows you've been following us. And they've been watching you for a long time. You trained and trusted me. And in return, I betrayed you. Long before we met, you lost your daughter, Lily. She's still alive. This is your chance to save her. To get back what you lost. Lily needs you.
We need, like, consoles to run this at a consistent frame rate. Because...
Wasn't it locked at 30 on PC when it first came out? It's disgraceful.
It's like monsters, like, jittering as they come at you. Super scary.
It had some serious performance issues, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it did.
Not that that's out of character for Bethesda releases.
Nah, but I'm just saying, they want to make this a big deal, throw it on Scorpio, get something consistent out of it.
There's an ordinary world, somehow I have to find. And as I try.
And how much did it cost you to license that song?
It sounds like cover of it, so maybe not so much. Enjoy glorious 35-degree FOV. You ready for the spoop? What's the bloody bullet time nonsense? Is that a... This looks more like Quantum Break than Evil Within. And before it's actually not that at all, but no, it's gotta be, right?
Yeah. All I know is we're probably gonna get copyright stricken on this entire thing.
Oh, don't worry. The power of editing is getting around that.
Oh, I'm sure. Somewhere Red are like crying.
Ew.
You were not an 80s child, were you?
I was born in 84!
I was born in 83, therefore I was in the 80s more than you.
I don't think that's anything to be proud of.
Well, I'm slightly less millennial than you are.
There it is. 5 minutes of no gameplay whatsoever. There it is, running away from things. Looks like a bit more combat focus on this one, maybe. We were mentioning the influencer of Resi 7.
Yep.
So there's a lot more in that.
It has the potential to be a really good IP. I want them to make it run properly.
Wow, that is soon.
Yeah.
October. Spoopy.
Of course, we know you won't be playing it because you don't play horror
I
games.
don't play horror games, no.
Wow. On Friday, October 13th,
wow.
The Evil Within 2 will surely be giving us all
This
nightmares.
is actually more terrifying than the footage we just saw.
I am pleased by this. I want that game. Give me that game.
And And as we near the end of our tour, we leave you with one more coming attraction.
I'm going to assume we're going to get a lot more talking after the first 30 minutes of the show here.
Go, Peggy. There's everything your mother ordered and a
Oh.
ration card. And here's a lakritz schnecker just for you.
Wow. Gee, thanks, Mr. Wilson.
Hey, Peggy.
Hi, Bill.
This is Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
It's New Colossus.
Yeah, it has to be.
Almost certainly.
No Starfield. I am disappointed.
Yep. There's your mech.
Mm-hmm.
Lego, help!
Yay, Mecha Doggy! I remember them horribly murdering me in the last one.
Good girl, Lego. Bravo,
Can I just have this as like a full action-length film?
I'd watch the hell
I
out of
would
that.
watch that. Looks like something that would play at the Alamo Draft House.
Lego. Bad girl.
Aww.
That was pretty cool. I'll give you that.
Nutrition is a matter of state security. Wunderbar soldier who ever lived. Power of thunder. Welcome back to round 3.
I'm telling you, this really belongs to the Alamo Draft House.
As they're still going with the future Nazi thing, alt history. I mean, I was mentioning alt history. I didn't think necessarily it would be that. What in the actual fuck?
That's just totally expected. Random.
What I'm looking forward to is the music in this game. It was phenomenal last time.
And this is definitely going to get copyright. So don't say anything cool and snarky over this.
I wouldn't worry about that. I'm not very good at either. Hello, man that is not BJ Blazkowicz. Of course it's not BJ Blazkowicz. He's in the Quake universe now.
He just finished his E3 weekend. William, I told you not to go to E3.
I couldn't help it. The call of Bethesda land, it was too much.
It says we're having twins.
Frau Engel. She's been hunting for you. She's been moving heaven and earth, and today she found you.
You think you're here?
Ah, she's back. So is this a prequel?
Questions that I cannot answer for you.
Monsters did this.
Not monsters. Men.
Ooh, going close to the bone on that one, aren't we?
Hello?
Come on, Peter, let's go someplace else. Mom, no buts.
Oh!
Bethesda, edgy as fuck.
You, one strawberry milkshake, please. Oh, I hope you don't have a fire back there to put out. If so, I'll come back another time.
I'm sure the fire can wait, Commandant. One strawberry milkshake coming right up.
Fireman, I recognize your face. Very Aryan face it is too. Are you out of Station 1?
There you go, Commandant.
Oh, vielen Dank.
Better hope that's the best milkshake ever.
Now you, show me your identification papers, please.
Reminds me of that really cool train scene in the first one that was super tense. I love that.
Put the fighting spirit back in the American people. Shoot on us! Smile!
Going a little bit Red Dawn with this thing by the looks of it. That guy... It's the fellow from Dead Space, who looked like him.
Let me first make it absolutely clear that I am not a Nazi.
I am a futuristic EDM DJ. What? He looks like one. I'm just saying.
I ain't no goddamn Nazi.
Hey! Now you bring Super Special back in and you put him down right now, or I will shove this grenade so far up your ass.
Lady, I got precious little time for your bullshit. We've been trying to make contact with your group.
That is BJ. Again, maybe they're just going with a full-on another alt timeline.
Relax, man. It's just a duck.
Mick Gordon music detected.
For the longest time, I've been hearing through the grapevine about this resistance leader named...
I never asked for this either.
Horton.
You know, my ma always said, never trust a man can't handle his whiskey. So you sit right down, say Terror-Billy, and drink up.
Oh, goddamn.
Now listen, Terror-Billy, I respect your ambition.
As cool as this is, a little bit of gameplay would be nice.
The world has sank into the crapper, and all we can do now is drink this whiskey and watch the vortex suck it all down.
Didn't expect your belly to be quite so yellow.
We stood up against the imperialist war machine of the United States of America and the greedy money men of Wall Street who was itching to send the children of the proletariat off to die in foreign lands so that they could...
I don't know, maybe this is this timeline in real life. The blurring of reality.
I got kids on the way. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna raise them in a world run by these Nazi assholes.
You take freedom away from the American people, you're playing with fire. And I intend to pour some gasoline.
You can ride it.
Nice.
You can ride it. It's the closest we're getting to bear protagonist in Wolfenstein. I'll take it. Oh, yes. I absolutely cannot wait. Alternate dual wielding. Glad that came back.
So far, this looks like it's going to be a pretty cool sequel.
I can't imagine being anything other. They're certainly emphasizing the comedy aspect of it a bit more, which that was not at all what was happening in the first one. That was pretty damn grim, that one. Lovely. 10 out of 10. Oh.
Release date. That close.
October.
Though.
What? It's dangerous. You have to be so quiet. We gotta go.
Well, that's when the LSD kicks in.
Yeah. Well, you did see him drop it.
That looks phenomenal.
I said a couple of months ago that the thing that Machine Games was working on is fucking bananas, so now you...
No, that was actually his quote. I remember reading that.
Stabbing a Nazi while a guy's dropping acid is fucking bananas.
Perfect.
We can't wait to show you guys more of Wolfenstein II and how it combines a compelling shooter with great story, unforgettable characters, and killer graphics with over-the-top action. So if you visit our booth this week at E3, you have a chance to go hands-on and begin the fight to rally the resistance in America against the Nazi regime.
Hopefully they're throwing that onto the latest id tech. That'll run like a dream at that point. The last one had some issues, especially on AMD cards.
You can play Quake Champions and
You get it on Vulkan now, that won't be a problem.
Prize pool at QuakeCon. Or you can try the Battlegrounds mode in the new Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind. Plus we have hands-on for the new Heroes of Skyrim for Legends, plus a cool interactive experience for The Evil Within 2, exclusive developer interviews, presentations, and...
Bear protagonist!
Lobby.
It's right there!
Let's all go to that. No.
You can't hide it from me. I know it's there.
Be out this year.
Be the bear. Biscuit. Be the bear.
Be it mobile or PC, console or virtual reality, shooter, horror, RPG, action, or strategy card game, we believe Bethesda will remain the place to go for the very best in video games. We hope you've enjoyed this evening's showcase. It's your passion and excitement that
Absolutely zero Starfield.
something exciting.
It's not real.
Something fun. If you're here at E3, we hope you'll come by the booth and say hi. If you're not here in LA, please keep checking Bethesda.net, where we'll have lots more to say about the games you saw tonight in the coming days, weeks, and months. And we thank all of you online for joining us. Please have a good night.
Well, that was completely no nonsense and to the point. I appreciate that.
That bear protagonist! It's right there. Well, that was, yeah.
To the point.
Pleasantly short, I suppose. I'm kind of glad that it was.
Yes.
And offline. There it is, straight away. All
Wow.
right. They're not messing about.
I actually am kind of a fan of, I think so far that's like my favorite conference from E3 so far.
It was
It's
packed.
to the point. It's not too much fluff.
No, it was definitely not. It was packed with what I imagine a lot of Bethesda fans wanted to see.
Bears.
Yeah. We got confirmation of bear protagonist in every upcoming Fallout game, which is excellent. There were no huge surprises. I mean, we called pretty much everything.
Yes.
Everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. No big surprises there.
No.
No show or really mention of Prey, which is a bit of a weird one, isn't it? They're sort of ignoring that it exists.
I wouldn't expect. Well, they did show it like in the beginning compilation, of what's already out. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it would be too early for any kind of DLC to come out for it, but
probably, yeah.
I guess it just depends. I mean, with that many things coming out again in November, would you expect them to have something right away?
That November and October area is packed for them.
Yeah, which is typical for almost every developer.
Yes.
And console maker.
Yeah, that's absolutely rammed with some pretty major stuff that they want to do well. So I'm not, as you said, particularly surprised. The thing which definitely caught me off guard there was the creation guard, whatever the hell they called it, the paid mods, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Well, right, so the debate is that or is that not paid mods when you're dealing with stuff that is mostly either internally developed or licensed out to specific third-party studios? Do you count that as paid mods or just a lot of smaller DLC? What is that? Because compared to what they tried to do initially on Steam, which was a fucking disaster, that doesn't seem like anything near that.
Not sure.
Creation Club, that's what they're calling it. But it seems to me like it's more of a Valve Workshop approach for their games, like say Counter-Strike and Dota, where they have community creators, they'll make stuff, it then has to get approved, and then it gets sold through their store. In this case, with Bethesda, you're kind of having the same situation and then sold for a smaller amount of money, which, that's not mods, really.
No, I mean, I guess because it's like, they have to vet everything.
If they've this was one of the main problems with the first attempt at paid mods. They didn't vet a fucking thing. So within 24 hours, they had stuff that was infringing on other people's copyrights up there, stuff that was stolen. The quality level was completely inconsistent. There was nothing really to say whether or not what you were buying would even work. If you're guaranteeing compatibility, you're curating, you're testing everything, you're approving or declining things on a individual basis, at that point, those are microtransactions, they're not mods.
Yeah, I agree.
As to whether or not, will they have a team to review them? I'd hope so. Because if they don't, it's going to come down to, when that thing comes out, what is the quality of the stuff that is on it? What do they release within the first wave? And is that indicative that they're actually testing it and curating it properly? If so, I have no problem with that at all.
I feel like we need more information.
We do, yeah. We need to squeeze.
That segment was so
It was quite short, yes.
And I feel like they did that on purpose because they knew it would rustle some jimmies, perhaps.
Yeah, I actually agree.
So I feel like we need more information about how the entire process works.
Yes, I want to know, and I'm going to see if they have any, what do they call it? Curation Club? No,
yeah, it was
Creator
a Creation
Club?
Club or
Creation Club.
Something like that, yeah.
Was it? Yes. I'm trying to see if they have any details, if they maybe put out a press release or something like that about it. No, it's... All we basically know is the same, that, you know, they'll work with outside guys. And apparently there's a link somewhere about it. Yes, okay. Here it is. Yeah. Creation Club is a collection of all new content for Fallout 4 and Skyrim. Fully curated, fully compatible, official add-ons. Who can make it? Who can make stuff? Who are they working with? Apparently, you know, it's...
I mean, is it only their designated third-party
Can I become
studios?
a creator? So here's the answer
okay.
on their FAQ here. So whether you're a professional developer, artist, or modder, you can apply to be a creator here. So there's a link to apply. Be ready to share work you've already done as part of your application. Yeah, so they're actually fully vetting anybody that wants to be involved in this program.
Right.
You do get paid. So I assume you get a percentage. So right at the bottom, is Creation Club paid mods? No. Mods will remain a free and open system where anyone can create and share. We won't allow any existing mods to be retrofitted for Creation Club. Everything must be brand new content. The only
if you made something in the past and it's really cool and everyone's using it, guess what? Sorry, kids, you threw that money out the window.
The concern that people are going to have, of course, is that, oh, well, will mod makers go on and just do stuff for this now instead of maintaining their free stuff?
I think that some of them probably will if you get an opportunity to get...
And I'm entirely all right with that.
Right, if you are creating things for the community, you know, obviously it would be nice to get paid for your time.
Of course it would. Yeah, without question.
But on the flip side of that, as you know, the actual gamer, it would also be nice to for you to have that peace of mind, knowing that that will continue to be updated and vetted through Bethesda. That way, you know, you're ensuring that that mod will continue to work. And
if it's sold, and they're looking to sell, you saw that Bethesda credits thing.
Right.
Which I'm not sure how you acquire those.
It's like, is that just
their
currency? That, you know, is that something that you can earn through, like, maybe achievements?
Didn't they say something about earning it? Let's see if there's anything in the FAQ. Not by looks of it. Yeah, the FAQ's pretty sparse, honestly. They said something like that. Of course, Bethesda has its own launcher now.
Right.
And you could easily do the microtransactions through that. But then, if you do that, how the hell does it end up working with Steam? That would be difficult, to say the least. The interface we saw looked very console-like. In fact, actually, I'm looking at the trailer right now, and what we see is left button and right button prompts at the top, so that it would indicate that that's console-related. I wonder how it's going to work through Steam, how it's going to work through anything else, really.
Not sure.
Hard to say. Is it like 100 credits per dollar? What I'm seeing in the trailer is like, there's the Dwarven Mud Crab is 150 credits. Survival mode is 500 credits. Whatever that means. They're already looking at selling, you know, weapons and armor and stuff. For consoles, I mean, even for consoles, this is weird, though, isn't it? Because the quality of content you would need for someone to even bother buying this. Would I pay for a Dwarven Mud Crab? I can mod that. That's easy. You're going to have to create something, and this is exactly what we said when they first tried paid mods, something that's genuinely, actually worth paying for.
I'm like, I'm even like looking through Twitter. A lot of people are asking about this, like, how do I earn credits?
So supposedly it is in the FAQ, but I couldn't bloody find it.
Oh.
If that's true, I could not find it in the FAQ at all. I'm scrolling.
Are you elder scrolling?
Oh, sorry, I'm stupid. How do I get Creation Club content? In-game digital marketplace. Credits are available for purchase on PSN, Xbox Live, and Steam. Credits are transferable, can be used on both games on the same platform. All right, easy. So it's just
money.
It's Bethesda land bucks, basically.
Gotcha.
Like I said, they won't actually shift anything. They're going to have to make it good. I'd have said, hey, you can easily get people to spend money on consoles with that, but consoles have real mods now too. It's an interesting move. I think it's totally fine. I think it's reasonable for modders to be able to make money from their work. Very reasonable. If people are afraid they'll start working on free stuff, yeah, they might. They very well might. And what's the problem with that? Like, you expect them to work for free?
It's a good incentive to keep them going. I mean, a lot of modders come in, they make a mod, and then they end up leaving the scene because they go on to other things.
That's exactly what we said when we first had the debate on paid mods. Yeah.
So that is the peace of mind that you get as the consumer that, hey, this mod is actually going to stick around. It will continue to be updated. They will probably create ancillary things.
It's worth bearing in mind that because it's in-game, Bethesda then actually ends up having a responsibility to ensure that it continues to work. Whereas prior to that, with the first iteration, they totally did not. And I believe that would require, they'll put an onus on them legally, actually, to ensure that that works. Because it's within their game and they're buying their form of currency to buy it.
Right. And I think that's kind of one of the problems that modders might see with the whole vetting process is they're probably going to have to go on real hard just to make sure that this person is going to stick around. They are going to support this because otherwise you ain't getting paid.
Who has to update it and support it? That's the question.
It's like, does Bethesda just like shut that entire mod down in the event that the developer for that mod just goes AWOL and it doesn't work?
I imagine if it eventually breaks, then yeah, they'd probably have to.
It's like, will they have to refund people for not being able to use the mod that they purchased?
These are all the questions that were asked the first time around.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying is I just feel like we need more information, and so I can't really comment on whether this is really a positive thing or a negative thing. I mean, anything that's
I think in principle it's positive.
Yes, but it has the very big potential to be negative depending upon how they implement it, how they vet modders. I think that's going to be a really important factor as to whether this is overall a positive or a negative.
Yeah, and ultimately what kind of content are we going to see that's even worthwhile? We know you can't repurpose the specifically rule against that.
Bearskins.
It's
lots of bearskins.
It's much harder to pull something like this off with a single-player game that already has full mod support versus something like Dota or Counter-Strike. And a lot of it is like, well, you know, there's no prestige in buying any of these things. You know, you can't show off a weapon skin to somebody. It would make a lot more sense if this was implemented into Quake Champions.
Well, as someone who plays single-player games, I'm just going to say, like, there are times when if you put 80, 100 hours into a game, sometimes it's nice for things to look pretty. Sometimes it's nice. Yeah,
but a lot of that's already available for free.
Sure.
I will say, of course, that on PC, that also gets around faffing about with a lot of installation and things like load orders. So being able to avoid that is quite nice. I wonder what's going to happen when you start to throw in the paid stuff with the free stuff and what breaks what.
Yeah.
You know, that it's going to be a huge headache for them.
And of course, it's going to be a situation of, oh, I'm sorry, this free thing doesn't work for you. Well, it was free, so what do you expect? Go get a paid mod is what they're going to say to you.
Well, I don't even know if calling them paid mods is fair. Because I think at that point...
apparently they're not paid mods, but
at that point, it's just microtransaction content. It's downloadable content. It just happened to allow third parties to develop that, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. We've seen, if anything, what the Long War devs could do with XCOM 2. They create some phenomenal stuff by working directly with the studio. And I don't see a problem with that. And you have to submit a goddamn portfolio to get accepted.
Yeah.
This is not just any old fucker can come along and upload an apple for $5. That's not going to happen.
Right, but there's nothing stopping someone, for example, who has already made a mod for a game, like Skyrim, and then they literally go and decide with the next Skyrim update that they're just not going to continue to update the free mod, and then they're going to go submit that.
Well, they can't submit it. It specifically says that they can't do that right here.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. They can't submit anything that already exists. They can't rework anything that already exists.
Okay.
It's got to be brand new content for the game. So that concern's sort of out of the window. Okay. The concern that they would stop updating their free stuff because they're too busy working on paid stuff is entirely legitimate.
Sure.
But as I've said before, you are not entitled to jack shit. Like, in that regard. The idea that modders should not be able to work... It's like saying... Because you're a programmer. It's like, what's the difference between a modder and a programmer? at that point. There really isn't one. If you're creating content, you're just a third-party mercenary content creator for a specific game.
Well, not everybody wants to be compensated for sharing something with the community.
No, they don't.
And they don't
if they want to
have
make free stuff, more power to them. Just you can't expect people
and
to.
I think a lot of modders will still continue to do that just based out of principle, considering that they've always done it.
Yeah, and this,
Otherwise, why would they?
That's exactly what they said
spend
the
their
first time around
Yeah.
on this one. This is a much, much better system.
As far as we can tell, I
we can tell.
do not believe we have all the information necessary to make a judgment call on this.
No, because we haven't seen what kind of quality content that's going to be available there.
Right.
Because a lot of us saw in that little trailer was like, there's no way I'd pay for any of this.
Yeah.
In a million years.
Well, while you're hung up on all of that, let's talk about the new Wolfenstein instead.
Looked great.
It looked amazing.
Looked fantastic. Again, it's very interesting that they seem to have taken it in a more light-hearted tone.
I believe that lighthearted bit was actually only for the purpose of concluding and wrapping up. I didn't think they wanted to end the conference pieces on such a down note, a negative note. So I think a lot of that is maybe engineering for the trailer or for the experience that we got. I don't know if that lighthearted
the tone
will carry throughout.
Compared to the tone on the trailers for the first one, it was very, very different.
Yes.
But
I don't imagine you can really derive much joy and happiness from a Wolfenstein game. That would be a bit weird.
I don't know. Looking at that one, I think I could get a great deal of joy and happiness from that. No doubt. People are asking if we're doing a Devolver. That's happening in 5 minutes.
Oh my.
You are not required to do that.
I know. We don't even have an idea of how long Devolver will be, do we?
No. They're also saying they're not announcing any new games.
Then
it's just
why?
It was just a showcase of shit that's coming out.
What?
No, maybe. Maybe.
You want to do it, don't you?
I don't know. It's on in 5 minutes.
How many people are watching it right now?
Well, I mean, we have 15,000 currently sitting on our stream.
Why are you guys here? What's happening? I guess Europe's awake.
Apparently. I don't know. It's really up to you. Because you're tired, I know that.
I'm tired.
You are exhausted.
As long as you guys don't hold it against me and tune out because I'm boring as fuck this late, then I'll hang.
I need to take a piss. We got a bottle around here.
Ew, gross. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to charge you like $5 DLC. I've been vetted through Bethesda to create this bottle. It looks like a Nuka-Cola bottle.
Oh, God. We could sell it.
And it's got rads,
we have
but...
4 minutes to talk about the rest of the conference.
New Wolfenstein looks cool.
Right, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Doom VR, surprising. I'm loving the way that they seem to have integrated the teleportation into the actual game as an item.
Yeah,
That's
I need
really
to see
smart.
something else out of Fallout VR. I guess it's just traditional movement, and that's
which
fine.
will probably make me sick. I don't think I'm going to enjoy that. But
Evil Within 2 looks like it could be really good. I'm still concerned about performance and what it's going to look like on launch because, again, I have issues anytime that there are monsters and I'm supposed to be scared. And it's like, how am I supposed to be scared when you're, like, stuttering all over the screen? No, that's not going to happen. So I have concerns with that just because of what happened with the previous release.
Yes.
No Starfield, so sorry Reddit, I guess. And the rumor mill that surrounded it.
No mention of anything to do with Game of Thrones or anything. Dishonored 2 DLC, good to see that they're doing that. No gameplay, of course.
And that's kind of it.
That's pretty much it.
Yep.
It was a good conference. There was nothing unexpected in it, certainly. But what we did see looked very good for what it was. Yep. Again, the biggest debate's going to be over that damn marketplace thing. Devolver starts in 2.5 minutes. I'm going to take a piss, all right?
Wow. So crass.
I'll be right back. We'll do it. We'll see if it drags on too long. We'll say fuck it and leaving. All right? We'll give you what we can, okay? Devolver coming up in a few minutes.